What's up, guys? As it says in the title, we're gonna watch some Tim Pool versus Josiah and Luke Baisley or something. Um, Maybe that's his name. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that's his name. But yeah, I'm gonna watch a little bit of that. Give my honest reaction about it. I'm not really playing Elden Ring in the background, uh, but it is loaded up because I will be playing it later. But yeah, without any further ado, let's uh let's watch this shit. And thank you for tuning in.
From Donald Trump entering the office as the president. The inauguration will be on Monday. So let's take this opportunity to debate Joe Biden's legacy, Donald Trump's legacy. And we have an eclectic bunch with us who are going to give their ideas on whether or not, I don't know, Trump's a fascist or women should even be voting in the first place. So you can tell it's going to get wild in this room. Why don't we start with you, Myron?
One half of the Fresh Fit podcast.
Holy
Happy to
shit,
be here.
Myron is in
I
here?
also run my own political talk show, Myron Gaines X, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Fresh Fit after that. And yeah, let's get into it. Happy to be here, man.
I'm gonna say, don't forget. Hold on. Let me see if I can go back to it. Dude, I wish I had like an
Let's take this
actual.
opportunity to debate Joe Biden's legacy, Donald Trump's legacy, and we have an
Hold on.
eclectic bunch with us who are going to give their ideas on whether or not, I don't know, Trump's a fascist or women should even be voting in the first place. So you can tell it's going to get wild in this room. Why don't we start with you, Myron?
One half of the Fresh Fit podcast. Happy to be here. I also run my own political talk show, Myron Gaines.
Yeah, don't forget that this dude, he's not black, he's Arab, okay? Don't forget that shit. You might think he's black because he's dark like this, and he might talk like a way you think a black person should talk. But this dude is an Arab, okay? He's basically walking around in blackface, all right? He hates black people. Don't forget that shit. He wishes he could be white because he's not black, he's Arab. He wants to be treated as a white person. So don't forget that shit.
Gaines X, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Fresh Fit after that. And yeah, let's get into it. Happy to be here, man.
Luke Beasley, liberal political commentator. You can find me on YouTube at Luke Beasley. Pumped. Good to be back. Tim, Myron, Andrew. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Wilson. I'm the host of The Crucible. It's a popular entertainment channel on YouTube. Political analyst, political satirist, and Bloodsport debater. Happy to be here.
This guy says he's a political satirist. He's only a satirist, okay? However you say that and however you spell it, that is all this guy does. He's nothing more than a political satirical pundit. Okay? Andrew Wilson, that's all he is. He doesn't really talk about shit. I don't think I've ever seen him talk about shit. I think I've just seen him like, pretend like things are 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 not existing and whatnot.
Thanks, Tim.
And pretending like he doesn't understand stuff because that's how he wins arguments is, well, hey, you're saying something. I don't know if I understand it, and I don't think I want to understand it, so you must be wrong. And that's it.
Yeah, Jessiah with Pondering Politics, liberal commentator. Looking forward to this conversation because this is like some of the biggest MAGA influencers I've ever encountered, and I'm looking forward to understanding a bit more.
Well, let's get started with the simple question. Is Trump a fascist? I know it sounds a bit generic, but this is the big talking point that kind of persisted for the past 10 years. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. He's authoritarian. He's far right. He's fascistic, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know who wants to start off first, but Luke, is he a fascist?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll tell you guys. Donald Trump, is he a fascist? Well, here, there's one fascist we know of. That fascist is Hitler. And Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Did Donald Trump kill 6 million Jews? No. Well, not a fascist. Case closed.
we can debate that particular label. I've noticed when I've watched past debates among MAGA folks, the benefit, or at least what they seem to thrive off of, is getting real into the weeds on a particular semantic debate. That's less relevant to me than going through the specifics of why I might call him that. But let's not get so focused on the label, but instead whether or not we find moral, whether or not we find.
No, let's get focused on the label. So listen, here's why.
Because you can't defend.
Well,
Finish
first of
off my
all,
point though. You
first of
can't
all,
defend.
Luke.
Well, hold up. I'm gonna finish this. You can't defend what he does, so then you try to distract from that with just really abstract
From your
label
lies.
discussions.
Yeah, from your
Then
lies.
What he's done or
so you
lies?
can't.
No,
you
no.
agree-
So first of all,
cannot defend what he
first of all,
actually
hang on,
did,
Luke. Semantics are
regardless of the
super
label.
important to a debate for a reason. It's so that we have clarity in what we're actually talking about. So when you go, Trump's a fascist, yeah, it's very important that you clarify exactly what that means, why it means.
Yeah, the thing he was saying that's I think that's what he was saying is that like the thing about it is to call somebody a fascist. Like there's a lot. Nobody even knows. Nobody even knows what a fascist is. Okay, but if you go by like point by point and you see like something that's super authoritarian that seems like it's taking away people's rights or limiting them in a you know in a way that is probably a way that you don't like, you might call it fascist. And the thing is that's basically everybody's definition. That's basically everybody's definition. And it, like for some people it's like, oh, it's things we don't like, and that's really it. And I mean, he's gonna say there's things that he doesn't like that he would call fascist too, but we wouldn't call fascist. And so, what is fascism really? But I mean, he knows. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out.
That.
And we know some fascist shit when we see it. Okay, like when they start carting people off to a death camp, you're kind of like at that point you're definitely like, I think we're doing something a little fashy right now, When you start telling people, hey, you need to have undying loyalty to me, you're like, oh, huh. I think we're getting a little fashy. When you start firing people because, hey, they're not undyingly loyal to me, not to the department, not to the Constitution of the United States of America, but to me, the president, or the supreme ruler, or the emperor, or whatever Vladimir Putin is, or Kim Jong Un, Jong Young, whatever his name is. Yeah, I mean, then you go, hey, you know what? Maybe it's a little fashy if you're not following the rules that we've tried to set out as a people, as a democracy, or as a republic, and you decide to, seize control for yourself and make sure that people are more loyal to you than they are to the Constitution. And, hey, I mean, might be a little fascist, but we'll see. I mean, sometimes, here's the thing: it's just because it's fascism, doesn't mean it's actually wrong. And that's I think what Andrew Wilson is probably trying to get at is at some point, you might what's fascism for you is good tidings for me is the government doing its best to help you for somebody else.
What the historic standard is that you're providing against
But I'm
that.
saying that debate is an interesting one. I've had it a bunch of times. Less relevant than whether or not you can defend the things he did factually, not the labels, the facts of what he did.
Why are
Can
you calling him a fascist then, Luke? If you're not prepared
Tim
to
brought that
defend
up.
it.
Tim brought that up. I'm interested.
He's like, nobody called him a fascist here. Your own guy said, is he a fascist? And he said, hey man, I don't even feel like that. Like that's just kind of dumb to begin with. Let's just talk about what he's done. Let's say, is this defensible or not? Does this seem? I mean, you could say a little fascist or not, but I don't even think he's trying to say. I think he's just trying to say, hey, what's the good thing about this shit? What's the bad thing about this shit? Fascist, and but. I mean, can you even say like fascist? Yes or no? Like no, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. He's not there yet. He might be on the road.
Well, it's so
You call him that, Luke. Why do you call him that unless you can defend
he is
it?
called in the media a fascist over and over and over again for 10 years.
And
He calls
my
him that.
question is, most importantly, then we can get to that. Can you defend the things that we point to as a threat to democracy, as anti-democratic, whatever label you use? I just don't care about
Can you
getting that
defend
bogged
that
down.
he's a fascist or not, Luke?
I absolutely have had that discussion a bunch of times.
That's not what I asked you.
but
Can you repeat my
right.
question?
Like they haven't even like can you this is all semantics right here. All satire right here. Can't even actually like is he a fascist? Can you like he's like, "Yeah, let's go through this stuff point by point. We'll see if you can defend it if you can." And he's like, "But can you say it? Can you say it? Is he a fascist?" And he's like, "You've said it. Can you say it?" And, yeah.
I
I mean, what's your question?
That he's a fascist.
We would point out things that we might describe as authoritarian or fascistic, even if you don't agree with a particular label. And that's what he's saying we want to talk about. So,
We
for
wanna
example,
talk about the
did he
facts.
plot to overturn the 2020 election? Did he resist the peaceful transfer of power? Does he command a cult of personality? These are factual questions.
Is
I think
the-
we're
is he
Yeah. Woo. Woo. There, let's get some facts on. There, those are some examples of things that seem like fascist things. You know, because when they start talking, they go, it's like it's like, well, here, what is a chair? Oh, hold on, someone's at the door. What up? I'm back. Girlfriend's friend was dropping some stuff off.
This is not. I'm not going to make a whataboutism. I'm going to say, okay, let's start from that presumption that would make Trump a fascist. That would also make Obama or Biden or Kamala much the same.
Which we can
How so?
discuss, which is false.
What you just described as Donald Trump would apply to them in
They
much the same
assembled
way.
fraudulent slates of
Yeah,
electors.
when have they ever like resisted the peaceful transfer of power or plotted to overturn an election?
I believe this was the first election in 52 years the Democratic Party
No, you-
has not challenged the election.
No, you're talking about the thing that is within congressional rules, which is you can
Object.
object to the
Yeah, you can-
count. That's different than assembling from different states people who aren't the lawful electors, and then trying to get them counted by your vice president as the real one.
Right.
It's completely different.
But that is
One-
also a procedure.
No, one is a no,
He's like, that's also, it's not a procedure. It's actually not the procedure is when the states do it. The states did not do it. Donald Trump's people did it. Donald Trump's people said, we are the duly selected slates of electors by the state. They were not. They lied about that. They were not. And then they went and sent in, you know, a fake state of electors saying that they were the slated electors, saying that they were the rightful electors. They were not the rightful electors. The state did not okay them to do that. That was a lie. That was a plot to steal the election.
nope. You
No,
can't
fake
just get
electors are
random
procedure,
people
yeah.
to sign fake forms saying they're the
They're not
real
fake
electors.
forms.
They were.
They're not fake forms.
You know why the people were
What do you think we
prosecuted
mean by
in
fake
7
forms? Like
states?
we obviously
Right.
it's
So
not
you need
invisible
to
pace.
define what a fake
They said they're not fake forms. Yes, they were fraudulent forms. They were faked with Photoshop.
form is.
We don't mean by an invisible piece of paper. It was a fraudulent document.
Wait, that's
Yeah.
semantics, Tim.
Yeah.
Like I
Right.
said, very
Right.
important.
Who said semantics? They semantics. They said it fake. It wasn't fake. It was an actual piece of paper. See, we said it's not fake. We're right. It was a real piece of paper.
So,
debates.
Because you
historical
can't talk
We don't want to spend
core of it.
45 minutes on
We'll
what's a
go-
fake form.
All right,
We would
so,
just,
so,
yeah.
the issue here is we're talking about a play upon precedent with what Donald Trump did, and the basis for what Donald Trump did and his lawyers in 2021 was built upon what happened in the election between Nixon and Kennedy, when Hawaii sent a non-certified.
Yeah, whatever he's talking about that happened in Hawaii, whatever he's talking about right there. Yeah, that happened. That happened. But the state did it. The state said, "Hey, we're counting our things. we're going to send 2 slates of electors, and then we will tell you which one is the correct one. They didn't do that. The state, Hawaii, the state did not do that this time around. Well, the 7 states that did it, it wasn't their choice. It wasn't them saying we're going to do this. It was Donald Trump doing it without their okay, without their permission. That is illegal. That is not how we vote. We vote, and then our state takes our votes, counts it up for us, and says, hey, who's got all of it? Who's got the majority in this state? They get our electors. They get all of our electors now. And then they send those electors to cast the votes. These guys were not, they sent a fake slate of electors that was not chosen by the state.
Slate, would you call that fake as well?
No, in that case, this was before the certification had happened. The state
Incorrect.
sent 2 slates.
Incorrect.
In these cases,
Incorrect.
there were certifications by each state, and then verified by the governor,
Split up.
then sent to the to Washington, and those were the ones Trump wanted to get counted.
Will it
It
come
did
up
not
on the screen, by
represent
the way?
the
Okay.
lawful outcome of the elections in those states. Y'all agree with that?
Agree with you about what?
That's what Trump was trying to do, getting electors that weren't the ones lawfully certified by the states to get counted?
No.
Okay.
What do you
Cool. Then
Wait,
So-
what was he doing?
So we'll pull this up. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang
step
on, we'll
at a
pull
time.
this up.
So in Hawaii, and it just disappeared on me. Why does it do that?
Oh,
I'm using
hold on. We're
Wikipedia,
gonna look
which
at
I'm not a
Hawaii.
big fan
We're
of
gonna look at
because it
Hawaii
is
first.
oversimplified and often wrong. But it says that
Like, dude,
Hawaii official.
what's really weird, if you're somebody who's like, I'm using Wikipedia, but it's oversimplified, but this is absolutely false, or this is the like, if it's oversimplified, well, what's the one that you read that helped you understand this totally? Like, why are you bringing in the thing that you don't really trust? Why don't you bring in the thing that you trust the most that says what you know about this? Because apparently you've read up you're read up on this, or maybe he's not read up on it. You know, maybe he's really not that read up on it. But you know, I mean, the thing about this, what's cool about Tim Pool is it's like if you did your job, and then you came home, and then you read a bunch of headlines or whatever, and then you're like, let me produce a show about media, and let me just give you all the headlines that I read. And I didn't read any of the articles, I just read all the headlines. And maybe I clicked on like one of them and read like, the first paragraph to where it gets to that weird like, pop-up ad that keeps like scrolling up your phone for you or whatever, or your screen for you, and it keeps like every time you scroll it like pops up more and like scrolls up more, like you read like a sentence and then it like like pops up more ads in between that sentence that you just read, and like the rest yeah, that's where you stop.
The results showed Nixon winning by a small margin.
I feel like that's how Tim Pool does stuff. But it's cool because it's like, it's kind of like if you like random person who really doesn't know shit about politics is trying to keep up on it. Like it's like if you did that, if you did like the literal bare minimum, and not the most because it's your job. You did the bare minimum because like you don't give a fuck. But you wanna hear something that makes it feel good or whatever. Hear a fact or something that makes you feel good. Yeah, that's what this is.
Hawaii's 3 electoral votes were cast for Nixon. Acting Governor James Keelio has certified the Republican electors, and they cast Hawaii's 3 electors for Nixon. However, clear discrepancies existed, blah, blah, blah. The court challenge was still ongoing at the time of the electoral count's safe harbor deadline, but Democratic electors still convened on the constitutionally mandated date of December 19th and cast their votes for Kennedy. Would you consider those to be illegitimate votes because it had already been certified for the Republican?
and then
Can we keep
there we go.
reading?
Continue.
The recount completed before Christmas resulted in Kennedy being declared the winner by 115 votes.
There we go.
On December 30th, the circuit court ruled that Hawaii's 3 electoral votes should go to Kennedy. It was decided that a new certificate was necessary with only 2 days remaining before Congress convened to count and certify the Electoral College votes. A letter to Congress saying a certificate was on the way was rushed out by registered airmail. Both Democratic and Republican electoral votes from Hawaii were presented for counting on January 6th, and Vice President Nixon, who presided over the certification, graciously said, without the intent of establishing a precedent and requested unanimous consent, the Democratic votes for Kennedy be counted.
Right.
So the clarification here, let's make sure it's very clear.
Sure.
The Democratic votes were never certified. They were intending to certify, but because the deadline was approaching, they submitted false documents, as you described it, before certification was done.
No, because the circuit court ruled that the electoral vote should go to Kennedy.
Hold on, I got to stop you. The circuit court has nothing to do with the convening of Democrats to file false papers. Did the Democrats convene without a court order and sign documents that were not real?
Was the president trying to get the ones that didn't?
Let's answer the question.
This is the question. Because we're talking about Donald Trump's actions.
Right, so we're starting with precedent.
We're talking about Donald Trump's actions.
I asked you a question, and you changed the subject.
Did the sitting president at the time try to get...
That's yeah, even that. He's like, oh, they sent it. Were those slates fake? Okay. Oh, hold on, I got a message. What is this? Did you just send me a screenshot? It's in Milwaukee. Okay, but yeah, even with that, it's like, all right, they sent these electors. They sent some, and then they said, hey, these are the right ones. Donald Trump sent some. So Hawaii sent the electors back then, said these are the white ones. These are the right ones. Donald Trump sent some electors, and he said these are the right ones. But it wasn't the ones that was selected by the state. So,
After the court cases had been resolved, try to get the Democratic.
We have to start from the
electors counted. They didn't.
Let's start here. Did the
None of
Democrats...
y'all are even engaging with that fact.
Are you going to answer the question?
You're going to go and spin and spin and spin because you can't engage with the fact that you do.
You're pattering.
You know
You're pattering.
that Trump was trying to get pins. What was Trump trying to get pins to do?
You are pattering.
What was Trump trying to get pins to do?
You are pattering.
Can
we stop and go back to the debate?
Keep repeating that.
Sure.
This is the debate.
So,
what did the president of the United States do at the time?
You're just pattering. All right, I'm going to say it again. We are reading a specific passage on what Hawaii did, and we are at a specific point in the logical question. Hawaii Democrats were not certified. They filled out paperwork. Pause. Courts had not approved anything.
At that
Were
point,
those documents, yes or no, real or fake?
At that point in time, the recount hadn't even concluded.
Yes or no, were
But
the documents real or
when the
fake?
Trump electors met, Georgia had already
you're changing
counted
the
its
subject
ballots.
again.
I'm explaining to you the
I am not
differences.
asking you about
You're
Trump.
correct. If those forms had then been asserted as the lawful ones during the counting process, that would be fraudulent, yes, but they weren't.
So they submitted documents that were unapproved, not certified to the federal government.
Which ones ended up being the ones that the federal government was going to certify?
Why is this so hard?
Oh my gosh.
Why is the reason that it seems
I'll lay it out.
you're doing
you
it
guys,
now
with y'all.
See, this is the thing. You guys are trying to present some sophistry as to your argument.
No, you can't engage with what Trump did. That's exactly what you're doing.
I'm going to make my point.
Engage with what Trump did.
I'll make my point. Stop pattering.
And then will you let us make our points?
So, absolutely. Though the problem is I'm asking about Hawaii and you keep changing the subject to Trump. So let's go through Hawaii.
It's about Trump, though.
Democrats had no right, by your logic, to fill out this paperwork and submit it to the federal government as the certified slate of electors. Only after the fact did the court make a decision. Now let's go to 2020. If there is pending court decisions, and there were, Republicans doing the same thing Democrats
Tim,
did.
no, you're wrong. The circuit court decided that a new certificate was necessary.
After the fact.
Before Congress convened.
Yes, but
We're
after
talking about
they had already submitted the documents. This is why I'm asking you, when you said they were false documents, I didn't say anything else. What makes them false? It's the same as Hawaii. If you want to make the argument that Democrats did the same thing in 1960, I will agree with you.
But we're not making that
In
argument because that's not what they did.
1960, this is the point. In 1960, while there was still a recount going on and ongoing court cases, and it was so narrow they really didn't know which way it was going to go. Then they didn't even submit those or try to get them counted. The sitting president at the time
Until a court.
until it was determined. Trump's
They submitted them.
he got all 7 states after this whole process had been concluded. It wasn't close enough for the recount to flip it. The recounts had concluded, and he was trying to get not let's have 2 standing by because we don't know how this recount's going to go, but from 7 states that we know the outcome of, but I'm making false claims of fraud on them, I'm going to get Pence to keep me as president by accepting fake electors. Tim, for a second, because we're supposed to be debating them, I think, could they also try to defend this stance?
Yeah, because you're
That
comparing
failed,
apples and
obviously.
oranges thing as far as I'm concerned.
That was silly.
Yeah, like if a court decided in one of the 5 or 7 states that Trump tried to peddle the false elector scheme, that if a court contested the Democratic slate of electors, then I think you would have an apples to apples comparison. But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
In none of the 7 states.
And it wasn't close enough to where they didn't know which way it was going to go.
Right, there
This
was
one
no
like
actual
hundreds of
ambiguity.
votes. Yeah. Andrew, anything? Myron?
Well, what's the argument here? Is it fascism, or because you guys went into a whole
So
other
one of the
tangent?
key
Because you guys went, I don't know if you guys just started with
I love
fascism,
it.
then we went into Ken.
I love that. He's like, listen. Is it fascism? Is it fascism? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You said slates of electors. What? Who's slate? What's a slate? What is that? What's an elector? What's fascism? Come on, man. Like, we asked you, what's fascism? You can't even say yes or no. You're talking about facts over here. You're talking about things that actually happened. We're trying to answer this question. Come on, dude.
The election in 1960s.
I'll explain. One of the key tenets of, again, I know you'll get really triggered, so I'm trying to stay away from that particular term, but we can say fascism, authoritarianism,
Fascism is based. I don't know what the problem is.
anti-democracy.
It's pretty fucking base. I don't know what the issue is.
Did you say fascism is base? Wait, did you say it? Dude, bro, I said it earlier. I'm like, bro, but fascism, dude, it ain't even that bad. Fascism for you.
Have an apples to apples comparison. But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
In none of the 7 states.
And it wasn't close enough to where they didn't know which way it was going to go.
Right,
This
there was
one
no
like
actual
hundreds of
ambiguity.
votes. Yeah. Andrew, anything? Myron?
Well, what's the argument here? Is it fascism, or because you guys went into a whole
So
other
one of the
tangent?
key
Because you guys went, I don't know if you guys, it started with fascism,
Sure,
then
let
we
me
went
explain.
into Kennedy
One of the-
election in 1960s.
I'll explain. One of the key tenets of, again, I know you'll get really triggered, so I'm trying to stay away from that particular term, but we can say fascism, authoritarianism,
Fascism is based. I don't know what the problem is.
anti-democracy.
It's pretty fucking base. I don't know what the issue is, baby.
Is that legitimate or joke? Because we can go into that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead.
Now
and go
suddenly you
into
want to
it.
talk
Okay,
about fascism.
One of the
Go
key,
ahead.
yeah, one of the
Dude,
key
yeah,
tenets-
for real. I
Again,
told you.
know
He
you'll
said,
get really triggered, so I'm
didn't
trying
say
to
it's
stay away from
base.
that
He
particular
says
term,
it's
but we can
base.
say fascism, authoritarianism,
Fascism is based. I don't know what the problem is.
Exactly.
It's pretty fucking base. I don't know what the issue is, baby.
Is that legitimate or joke? Because we can go into that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead.
Now
and go
suddenly you
into
want
it.
to talk
Okay.
about fascism.
One of the
Go
key,
ahead.
one of the key tenets.
He's like,
is rejecting
he's like, yeah, that'd be
democratic
interesting. Come on, tell me you're a
principles
fascist,
and
bro.
the democratic process.
According to who?
According to every single fascism scholar ever, and the definition.
Okay.
Do you mean according to who, like, what determines the democratic processes?
No, I'm asking according to who.
Yeah, sure, read it.
Yeah, go ahead. So far right authoritative. No. Pull up Giovanni Gentile. This would be the person that you guys would like
You
to
see?
use
You see?
as an authority. Yeah.
Just the
Where
audience
did we
can watch.
cite Genevieve?
They're terrified.
Gentile? I thought
I'm
it was Gentile.
saying
When did we
this
cite him?
getting
Wait,
into-
I'm sorry.
Oh,
is reading a this would be the person that you guys
Bro.
would
You
like to
see?
use
You see?
as an authority. Yeah.
Just the
Where
audience
did we
can watch.
cite Genevieve?
They're terrified.
Gentile? I thought
I'm
it was Gentile.
saying
When did we
this
cite him?
getting into-
Wait, I'm sorry. Is
getting in-
reading a Wikipedia article proof of your position?
No, getting into a hyper
Mhm.
specific definitional discussion. I don't care what you call it. Bad. Let's say bad. Bad is what I think Trump did. And that's what I'm trying to get you to see. Not the definition, because I know you feel way more comfortable spinning around and reading about whoever. Instead, we can just talk about, regardless of the definition, is it good or bad to reject democratic results? Is it good or bad to threaten the media based on my principles, which value
What do you mean
democratic
threaten the media?
So Trump has repeatedly called for, like, investigations into reporters, into media outlets. He believes that the business licenses of, like, ABC and CBS, MSNBC, he says, should be pulled. I mean, you don't see these sorts of threats from the Democratic Party.
Okay, so let's get into them.
And even if you
Has,
did,
Has Trump pulled anybody's license ever as president? Has he actually sent any government officials to do any
Bro, he's sued places, and also, I mean, he didn't he threaten Mark Zuckerberg? Say he's gonna throw him in jail. Heck, bro, I was on True Social the other day, bro. There's a Mark Zuckerberg that he said, oh, congratulations, he's on our side now. He's gonna be helping us with MAGA. He's doing real good. And all of the Trumple, all the little everybody on True Social, hang him. We're gonna hang him. We're gonna hang him, bro. That was the sentiment that day, the day before, on this dude, you know. And Trump might have said he's good, but it seems like MAGA still wants their pound of flesh. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, they're gonna be on to a new target soon, but whatever.
investigations of any major
So you
league
agree, though,
organization? Stop.
him saying
Stop,
it's bad.
stop, bro. I just let you go through your whole stupid spiel.
You keep not
Has
making
Trump
sense, though.
actually
Kind of boring.
done that?
Are threats not bad?
And first of all, hyperbole isn't a threat. That's one.
Trump said
And hang on.
CBS should be
And
taken off the air, should they?
what I want to see, so as Spurgley over here keeps on losing his mind, he doesn't want to get into hyper specifics.
Spurgley.
He doesn't want to get into
He says he doesn't want to get into hyper specifics. They were just on a specific before, and he was like, he literally was like, yo, but what is fascism though, bro? like here, let's talk about a specific thing that he did that you might label a fascist thing to do. It's like, yo, but what is you can't, yo, he's doing things. It's hey, just because you do bad things doesn't mean you're a bad person, okay? We all make mistakes sometimes, all right? And it doesn't mean you're a bad person, you know? You could have been doing the bad thing for the right reason, and that would make you a good person then, you know? Like if you kill somebody in self-defense, like killing is wrong, but doing it in self-defense is good. I mean, it's not wrong. In some cases, it's even good. It's even the right thing to do, you know? So, like, is taking away somebody's rights like wrong? Is stealing the election wrong? Well, what if they stole the election from you? Then stealing it back is the right thing to do, obviously. Duh. Duh, bro. What is this loser lib thinking, bro? Loser lib Luke. Luke loser libtard. What are you thinking?
hyper specific semantics because that would cause what we'd like to call clarification. That way we're not talking past each other.
I don't think you're
Right?
hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just, dude, I just gave you your whole spiel.
He's like, bro, come on, bro. I'm using my satire on you, okay? Like, geez. I'm satiring all over you, bro. I'm satiring you up and down.
So anyway, the reason I want to get specific about this, about what fascism is, about whether or not Trump is actually a fascist, whether or not Trump actually enacted fascist policy, all of these things is because you guys, you can't sit on your shows and say, this guy's a fascist, he's an authoritarian, he's a dictator, he's a threat to democracy.
Yeah, bro, dude, if you're going around like calling Trump a fascist, calling him a dictator, a threat to democracy, you're calling all the people that voted for him a fascist, a dictator, and a threat to democracy, okay? And all the people that voted for him, that's not why they voted for him, okay? Okay? That's not why they voted for him. They voted for him because immigrants, because money, because gas, because white man, and none of those reasons are fascism. Like, I mean, I'm being serious. None of those reasons are fascism, you know? So, there's no reason, there's no way Donald Trump could be a fascist, okay? None of those reasons means fascism. And that's why everybody voted for him.
And then give
And the golden age, okay? The golden age.
us nothing. Just like, oh, he used some hyperbole about
We
the
just
media.
talked about
He
examples.
tried to stay in office despite losing an election.
Yeah, okay, hang on. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to, hang on, bro. Well, hang on. We started with that. At least that's what you wanted to start on. But we're going to get to all this other stuff. You want to call him a fascist, okay? Like, so what? You try to steal one election. Bro, that's Fascists don't try to steal elections. Fascists steal elections, okay? Come on now. Plus, it was already stolen. What's the evidence? Fuck you. That's the evidence.
That stuff in a second. Right now, we're talking about something else. We're talking about the media. Calm down. Calm down, Spursley. Calm down, Spursley.
But Andrew, like that's just a
Yo, let me give you some Trump style nicknames. Call me fascist now, motherfucker.
misrepresentation of our position. You say that we give you nothing. We're giving you specific things that he did, which
Not with the no. You made this claim that
Where?
Trump has done bad things to the media. He wants to pull their license. He wants to take something away
He's
from them.
threatened to do those things.
Where has he done them?
So do you think that just
Where has he done them? Bro, he's threatening, okay? It's called a negotiation tactic, bro. He's the deal master, bro. Like, he's not gonna just like throw you in prison right away, okay? He's gonna threaten you a little bit, say, hey, yo, get down or lay down. And then you gotta be like, hold on. What if I don't? And he's like, bro, I might take your shit. I might fuck you up. And then you're like, okay. Well, seems kind of serious. And then they go, dude, is Trump a fascist? Dude, did he actually take your shit though? Well, you threatened it, but he didn't actually take your shit. So does that actually count as a fat? Like, it's like, yo, is it actually extortion if I come up and I say, hey man, it would it'd be a real shame if somebody came and broke all your windows. I think you should pay me, so I could protect you from that. And then, I'm like, oh, like clearly I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't worried about that before, but now that you came in here and said it all scary, like, seems like you might be, seems like you're up to something. Seems like this feels kind of like a shakedown. It feels kind of like I should pay you money, or you might come back and break out my windows. And then you're like, oh, bro, did I even say I was gonna do that? Come on, dude. But I'll take the money. Yeah, thanks.
is acceptable unless he follows through on?
Yeah, I think that.
Bro, and yo, you guys, that's New York mob rules, bro. I bet you Trump's got mob ties, or at least he's got mob tied friends, bro. Dude, that's why you got him, bro. That's why you got him. That's why you want him as your president, because you like that mob shit. You like that fucking gangster shit. And now you got a fucking gangster as president, okay? Maybe he's like a super cool gangster, a super smart gangster. Maybe he's kind of a fucking asshole gangster, But like, he's your president now. He's our president now, And that's what people wanted. That's what people like. They like him pushing his weight around, being like, "Yo, I'm the president, bro. I might come over and like fuck your wife or some shit, bro." You won't even call that fascist. You'll just call that cucked.
Hyperbole is fine. I think that presidents use hyperbole all the time. I think that liberals use hyperbole. So, for instance, I'm going to give you an example. When you
Hyperbole when liberals call Trump fascist, but you can't just be throwing that word around, because then it loses its meaning, Because right now, I mean, what does it even mean? We don't even know anymore because you call everything fascist. Kind of seems like if everything's fascist, nothing's really fascist, And and now fascism is just based, It's just like cool things that the libs hate. Sweet.
You say Trump's a fascist, I think that's hyperbole.
Would you?
Because I don't think you actually think he's a fascist. I think that you just think fascism means authoritarianism. You don't even know what the fuck it is. You don't care about.
Well, fascism means authoritarianism. Like, okay, are they both good or bad? I mean, are they both good or bad? But dude, we already know. It's based. Okay, based.
About it. Hang on. So you I think you're actually using hyperbole when you're talking about fascism in general. So when Trump uses it, when Trump uses hyperbole, when Trump is speaking this way, Trump bad. When you're speaking this way, that's fine.
Andrew, you're a smart guy. You should be able to recognize meaningful differences between just a random schmuck and then the president.
Show me the meaning.
Number one. Number two. I don't think it's hyperbole at all. We're talking about specific things, specific examples of things that Trump has either done or threatened to do.
Like he said, Zuckerberg should be in prison now. Zuckerberg's implementing policies that are more friendly to him.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Oh, there's one example, but hold on. Tim's jumping in here. Andrew Wilson did his satire thing where he pretends like they're not talking about anything, but really it's because he's not talking about anything, and he can't give any specifics. And now they gave a specific. Well, they've given two specifics already. They said, hey, he's threatening Mark Zuckerberg, which I mean, I said that earlier too. But it's because I mean, it's because I know about shit. You know, I just know about shit. I watch the right guys. You know, these guys they don't watch the right guys. They need to watch better guys. They need to quit watching themselves and watch somebody else. Or maybe they should watch themselves before they and check themselves before they wreck themselves. I mean, he got a little wrecked with that RT shit, but you know we'll see if Tim comes back. If you didn't know, Tim was getting paid by Russia to make his show and to keep making his show. They were basically subsidizing him. He was like not making much money at all, and then they were giving him like all the money in the world, basically, more than more than most people. I mean, who gets paid? I think it was like $1 million per episode that they were like, who gets paid that? Who gets paid that by somebody? Damn.
We're talking a lot about the threats, and Andrew asked about what he had done. Do you think if Donald Trump threatened to kill an American, that would be fascistic?
Well,
So-
fascistic?
Well, I
Again,
mean, like, so
we're gonna
just to
Yeah,
clarify.
I know. It's really
We're-
you're gonna try to go somewhere. Blah, blah, blah. I want to
I'm
stay
asking-
focused because
okay,
what I'm
well,
If Donald Trump, he's like, do you think if Donald Trump threatened an American, is that facetious? Well, Donald Trump has never threatened an American, so he's not a fascist. Case closed. Dum 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 boom boom boom. Now 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 now.
we are being
No one's allowed to talk but
No.
Spurgley.
Yeah, come on,
Hey,
bro.
man, I
No
didn't-
one's
you
allowed to
gotta-
talk
you
but
gotta stop
Spurgley. I'm
bringing
trying to
up-
advance the conversation by asking a
Alright.
question to clarify the.
Dude, what happened to Myron, bro? Dude should not even be there.
But I'm gonna go back to what we were talking.
That's why they haven't even showed him. That's why he's silent because he does not belong there. He's just sitting there drinking water, like chilling. Like, this is amazing. This is great. Oh, what a great day. I'm here in the middle of this. Oh, amazing. I don't even know shit. And I'm sitting here. Yeah, Andrew Wilson. He's carrying me through this. Hard carrying me through this. All I had to say was fascism was based, and everybody else is like, was I joking? Was I not? I don't know. Who cares?
You guys said he's threatening the media. Andrew
Who cares? Because this is all satire anyway.
said that he hasn't actually done it. So I'm trying to say, what if it was a more extreme threat that wasn't just, I'll pull a license? What if Trump said he would kill an American citizen? Would the threat of killing an American in and of itself, without the action of doing it, be fascistic?
Like
and this is for
how
everybody.
specifically, like he's gonna for
Like
what
if Trump
reason?
said, I'm going to shoot a guy on Fifth Avenue, I'm going to go do it right now. My point being, threatening to take legal action, we can argue whether, like, it seems kind of a legalese question. So I'm trying to shift it to, let's talk about an extreme action Trump could threaten.
Okay. Well, I
Would that
still haven't.
threat-
Well, if he takes a legal action, like that's a legalese question. It depends on if it's legal or not. If it's legal, then it's not fascism. But if it's illegal, if it's an illegal legal action, then it's fascism, obviously. But kind of like how they went after him, for I don't know whatever she does. That shit seemed pretty fascist to me. He was using the government to go after them, you know. But now when he does it to go after it was ABC, Disney. Like, is that fascism or not? Well, it's him getting his revenge, you know, for what they did to him. So they did something, and that was fascist. You know, they went after Donald Trump, for sleeping with a prostitute, a porn star. That's fascist. Like that lady was just trying to get paid, and you're telling me that he paid her for sex and for her to not talk about it, and that's what, illegal now, bro? Hell no. You're gonna stop him? You're gonna try to take him to court for what? Hooking up with a prostitute? Come on now. That sounds like fascism right there to me. For hooking up with a prostitute and paying them, bro. I mean, if he didn't pay them, what would that be then? Rape? Jeez. Then that would have definitely been fascism then.
Gotten an explanation of how it's acceptable to try to block the peaceful transfer of power from Andrew, which is what I keep saying. You brought up the fascism word. I said, hey, I get that people get real bogged down, which is why I've had hours of discussions about that particular term. I came here interested to see if MAGA figures could defend the actual actions, not the label, but the actions. And I'm yet to hear you walk through any of them. We're getting a little bit to the specifics of the media, so I appreciate that. But so to answer your question, him trying to induce a feeling of fear among the media as it's working with his rhetoric, with clear intentions, some of which he didn't actually get done the last time, but like he wanted.
Let me explain
Bill
why
Barr
I
to
asked the
certain
question.
things. And I'm still waiting on either of them.
Here's why I asked the question about killing an American specifically.
Obama, I know.
No, it's because whether or not the government can pull a license is a legal question over whether or not they violated a public license, and so you guys are then arguing outside of the actual confines of a legal issue. Which so let's make it definitively an issue of illegal or legal.
Or we could talk about what Trump is.
Okay, the federal government grants public licenses with stipulations. If you want to debate whether or not they can or can't, that's a legal procedural question.
You understand you can have the governmental power to do something, but how you leverage it for the purpose.
This is why I tried shifting away to something more direct, like killing somebody. A threat to kill somebody is a direct question.
Again,
Well, the government can kill
The
people.
government can kill people.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me,
certain
this belies the
circumstances, but
point of it.
why?
Like, this idea that it can't be authoritarian or it can't be fascist if it is within the technical legal confines of the federal government. That's absurd.
That's not the point I'm making.
Of course,
Which is
Trump's
why,
gonna abuse his
again,
power.
the semantics would be really important here to clarify what we mean when we say fascist.
No one's bringing that up. We don't care about the label.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up,
examples.
Spurgley.
We're giving you specific.
Yeah, but that doesn't actually tell me what we mean by this.
Guys, sure, it makes for great clips, but we don't need.
I love it. He's like, listen. You're bringing up examples. That doesn't tell me what it means. You know, like if you bring up a definition of something, okay, that's how I know what it means. How you use the word, like that doesn't tell me what it means. You know, how you use the word. I don't know. I'm blanking on a word that it's like, like cool word, but I mean, it's for real. Have you ever had that happen where you look up a word and you're like, hey, cool that it told me what this word means, but until I see it used, I don't think I still understand what it means, you know? And that's really it. That's really it. Like that's you need an example. You need to ground your shit in an example so that you know what the heck it is that you're using, what you're meaning, you know? Because like you could say the definition of something and just switch it. You could switch all of it around too. It doesn't matter until you use it. You know, then you know what it is that you're defining too. You know, you see the context. Dude, I guess Tosh is coming to my town. My friend wanted to go see it. Daniel Tosh. I don't know if you guys remember freaking Tosh.0. Shit was the shit.
The ad hominems. You called him boring. You're calling him Spurgley. We don't need to do this.
Oh, well, boring. I mean, the conversation.
I don't think you're boring
I
at
don't
all.
think you're boring.
I'm not.
I just thought the conversation was getting.
And he is
boring,
Spurgley. So, but anyway.
Oh, call me whatever. I
So
just want you to-
I'm actually happy to dive into this. You say that I'm avoiding your questions. I'm not. First of all, I'll answer them directly.
Sure.
It's well within Trump's rights, even if it was. Let's just say you were right. Let's just say I grant it. It's within his rights to set alternatives electors. He's well within his rights to do that.
He's not. He's not in his rights. He's not in his rights. He's not in his rights to send other electors. He's not. That's the states' rights. Yo, he is the federal government meddling with states' rights. It is not the federal government's right to send in a states selected, a states appointed electors. It is not the federal government's right to do that. It is not. That is federal government overstepping.
Participating in this scheme.
Is
The fake
The fake electors.
Ooh.
In all
Oh, wait,
seven.
I got a question. Does the law prescribe morality?
No.
Wait, you said the right. Do you mean
that's
legal right or
fine.
moral
Yes or
right?
no
Moral
question.
right.
Don't
Oh,
get mad
oh.
about it.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't mad.
So-
No, I thought it was a good question. I was just.
So what's
Okay,
actually wrong with
sorry.
it?
So
Why is it even problematic?
because he didn't win the election.
So let's just say he didn't.
Okay. Well, then agree.
Stop,
then.
stop,
Agreed.
stop, Spurgley. Let's just say he
Agreed.
didn't. Let's just assume
Kamala?
it.
Just
Stop,
like Kamala?
Spurgley.
Could Kamala have
Let's
done
just can I have a back and forth for
The election
2
was stolen.
seconds
I mean,
without you nipping my
this is
heels?
interesting that we're even on this. Like the
Dude.
election was stolen, guys. That is why.
For the election was stolen. The election was stolen. That's why he had to do it, okay? That's why the federal government had to step in and say, hey, like, these are the right ones because the election was stolen. How? I don't know. By who? I mean, we're pointing fingers, but like, they don't know how it happened. They don't know how they did it. There's no evidence. They tried to investigate. They couldn't find anything. Their whole investigation was, hey, we'll just say that there is something. We'll find it later. I'll worry about finding it later.
Why
The 2024 election?
the 2020 election.
Oh shit.
It was stolen.
I mean, I'd like to just dive into this so that we can figure this out real quick.
Why was it stolen? How was it stolen? That's a big
Multitude of
part,
different
yeah.
factors here. I mean, I wrote it down. We got the mail-in ballot fraud,
That was a
voters,
pretty sleek move there.
Dominion voting systems, vote counting observers, late-night ballot dumps, ballot harvesting, double voting, foreign interference, improper voter registration practices, manipulation by poll workers, geolocation data, surveillance footage, whistleblowers, vulnerabilities in election laws, suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop. I mean, what else? I mean, I think anyone with any
Suppression
common sense
of the
would understand,
Hunter
because we're
Biden
talking about the
laptop.
fascism and he challenged the election, all this other stuff.
No, like, there's all these things that, like, literally proves, literally, they took every single one of those things to court. They couldn't find, it's all just accusations. It's all just accusations. And who's that dude? The guy who's got the head, the baldness, and he tried to spray paint some hair on his head, and it started sweating down his head. Bro, you know what's crazy? Is that guy had like millions of dollars, couldn't buy hair plugs. Or just, I mean, or just shave it. Just shave it and be bald, bro. Don't be sweating your hairspray, your fucking spray painted hair back on your head. This dude used to be a mayor, Mayor Giuliani. This guy was one of the guys saying all the stuff that Myron just said here. And that guy got sued for lying about all that stuff. They sued him because he lied about all that stuff, got poll workers, harassed, and his defense was, well, it's my First Amendment right to lie and to say things without evidence. And they said, no, it is not. You can't just make up shit about people that cause people to harass them then. And that's what he did. That's what Mayor Rudy Giuliani did. That's what he did. And you know what happened? He got sued. And man, like, he's losing. I mean, there's a lot of money. He had to sell stuff. There's stuff he had to sell. He's selling things now. He's liquidating. They liquidated his hair. Now he's liquidating his bank too. And all of his assets to pay these people because he lied. He lied. There was none of that. They could not prove any of that voter fraud shit in the court of law. In the court of law. Under oath. Donald Trump's own judges appointed by him were like, there's no like, you have to bring some evidence for us, guys. You can't just say these things. You have to bring evidence for us too. That proves these things. And then we can say, yes, but you don't have any of that. So they couldn't because there was zero evidence that they could look at that could say that a judge would say, yes, that is definitive. All the stuff that say, hey, this seems odd, this seems this seems that. That's all it was. Nothing that could be proven though. You got to prove that shit, bro. You got to prove that shit. But here's the thing. It wasn't even wrong that he did all that, because fascism is not even that bad, bro. Like, dude, okay? Like, fascism it's just when my guy does things you don't agree with. That's all it is. That's all it is, bro. Okay, satire. Fascism is just satire that you don't agree with.
Let's talk about why he challenged it.
Mhm.
It was
Because he lost.
no, because it was stolen.
Right.
It was
And
stolen.
are you sure?
There's a multitude of evidence to
remind
show
me which
that the
court-
2020 election there was some type of interference to some degree.
Remind
There's a
me
multitude.
which court he was able to demonstrate that in?
Pennsylvania in the lower court ruled on the merits that they
It was
violated.
like a procedural, but not.
No, it was an actual
fraudulent
hearing
things
where
he's talking about.
the judge said that the Constitution of Pennsylvania was violated by the implementation of universal mail-in voting. The Supreme Court overturned the ruling.
And he
Well,
just
that's the higher court, right? So we should probably.
Well, so
defer to
he
the
asked me
Supreme
which
Court.
court did it. I said,
Yeah, right, I
lower
understand,
courts
but
did.
I assume he's referring to like a court's verdict or a court's
and
ruling,
you
which
just
actually
listed a bunch of like you brought up geolocation data. That was in like 2,000 mules, and they had to admit when
Yeah,
the
but
project
the point I'm
reason
trying to
this
make
is
is
a
that
terrible
there's a
argument-
multitude of different factors.
The reason
that
this
come
is a
into
terrible
why.
argument is because if I say, okay, well then who got prosecuted for insurrection? You'll say, well, just because they weren't prosecuted for insurrection doesn't mean it wasn't an insurrection. It's
No,
like,
I'm saying you
oh,
actually have to
okay,
prove
great.
claims, not
Just
just make
because,
them.
well, hang on, Luke.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, just because he wasn't
Well, a
able to
bunch of people got
demonstrate that the election
prosecuted
was
for
stolen in a
insurrection.
court because they threw most of it out.
Isn't that why they just got pardoned for all the stuff that they did? You know, isn't that why they got pardoned?
Out on standing
Mhm.
doesn't mean it wasn't stolen. It just means that we had a bunch of
What
judges
about the guy?
who went after it on standing. But there is a lot of evidence here that should be looked at. I'm not saying it was stolen. It's not my position, okay? But I am saying that
Do you
there-
have a position on
there
just out of
is-
curiosity?
I think it should be investigated, and it never properly was.
Being investigated.
No,
He
yeah.
hired
When
someone.
Trump is in office, I
block.
think he should actually run a real investigation into it. I think that the idea that
Great.
well, Trump, so Biden takes the White House, that there was a legitimate investigation done by the Biden administration for the guy he could have lost to. I think that that's ridiculous.
But
the
doesn't
Trump-
that motive
Trump
work the
administration
opposite way
investigated.
too?
Go ahead.
Like seriously, like doesn't that
Mhm.
motive work the opposite way? Because Trump's position was before the election, it's stolen, it's
Yeah.
rigged.
Well,
And during the like
that's
doesn't
I mean
Sims-
that's a fair criticism. I just think that you have enough third-party people which can be approached who could investigate this in a way in which it was fair.
But they hired like third party groups. So
Yeah.
like was it Cyber Ninjas
They weren't
and some
able.
others?
Ken
First
Block
of all, they
was
weren't
one guy.
able to subpoena a lot of the evidence that they wanted. They had a lot of the circuit courts throw things out on standing. I do not think that this was a legitimate investigation, and there are some things that should be investigated. For instance, it's not a secure election to have people just dropping ballots unsecured in a ballot box. That's insanity.
Yeah, but respectfully, Andrew, like subpoenas and standing, these things are like valid legal constructs. Like you have to meet like probable cause for a subpoena. If you don't have probable cause to get a subpoena, then that's on you. And if you don't have standing to bring a case, then again that's on you. Like
But the problem is that
Are you saying?
hang on, it's an allocate. Can I answer one question at a time, dude?
I'm trying to let you.
And I'm just like literally trying to talk to the guy. I think that it's fine, and I think you bring up a valid point. But I think when you have a Justice Department, you can instruct your Justice Department how to prioritize different situations. I think it's fine for Trump to say, "Listen,
Bro, yeah. The thing is, like, okay, so Trump, he's in office now, so he should, like, do an investigation. But, like, the thing is, it's crazy. Is I swear he was investigating also during the time, and they didn't find anything. But, I mean, when he was having his people investigate at the time, they just weren't doing a real investigation. So now I think he should have his people investigate again, and this time his people will do a real investigation because, I mean, like, it was his people, but we all know that it was actually probably Biden's people because, I mean, Biden was the one who killed the Hunter Biden story anyway, even though Biden wasn't in charge of the FBI at all. But it was still like, Biden controlling it. I mean, dude, for all we know, Biden's probably controlling stuff right now. I mean, there's fires happening in California. Biden probably started them. There's stuff happening in Colombia, and Biden probably, started that shit too. So, I mean, I just think, like, we got to realize that when stuff happens that the government doesn't do right, it was probably Biden's fault. And when stuff happens that the government does good, I mean, it's probably Trump's, like, success, He was probably the playmaker.
still think that there was foul play in this election. And even if there wasn't, let's just decide it once and for all. Let's get it figured out once and for all. and instruct his Justice Department to begin investigating whether or not there was some type of
And
foul
at least
play going
warrants an
on.
investigation. And who conducted the investigation? You said
That's
they got
what
someone
happened.
got
His
hired.
administration,
Who
It was,
did it?
a guy named Kim Block
Republicans, I think, in Arizona
was
hired.
an independent. They got like the
Cyber
cyber
ninjas,
ninjas
yeah.
in Arizona. The
Okay,
guy,
so
the guy who
they
worked
already
for-
lost
let's
because
just-
they don't have the
let's
authority to
administration.
properly do the investigation. You need
Well, let's-
federal
no.
agents, 1811s, FBI
Okay.
special agents to do the case. That's
Yeah,
how it goes.
Trump's
Direct law enforcement,
administration
right?
Yes.
was
Yeah.
the one investigating it that then came back to Trump and enraged him by saying we can't find any evidence. And
Because they don't have the authority to
They don't have the-
properly
all right,
find the
and
evidence.
this is what you're
Wait,
gonna have
wait,
to
wait,
do
wait.
until the end of time.
He says they need federal agents. They said, yeah, Trump sent his federal, like I said, Trump sent his federal agents in, but no, his federal agents aren't good enough. They need federal agents. But the thing is it's not federal agents who investigate that stuff. The state is in charge of their own elections. That is the state's right. It is the state's right to vote for the president of the United States. The state has the right to vote for that. It is the state's right to how they run their elections, not the federal government's right on how a state runs their elections. The state chooses. That is states' rights, buddy. These motherfuckers be trying to take away states' rights. You know that? I mean, that's what they do. You know, like, but people don't know that. Like, you think it's the Democrats who are trying to take away states' rights, but like it's the Republicans too. Like they both like power. Power loves power, and power's goal is to expand its power. Okay. Now, how do they do it? I think they both do it very differently. Hey, giving your kid the choice of whatever gender they want to be, as gay and retarded as it sounds and as stupid as it is less fascist than giving them no choice. You know, it really it's not like it's a good thing. It's not like it's cool. It's not like but I'm just saying like it's less you're that's more rights, you know, even though it's a dumb thing, even though it's like it's not a thing you really get to choose. It's still like more rights than saying you can't choose, you know. But maybe this is going over other people's heads. I understand if people don't understand. It makes sense to not understand.
Is say there's never been enough investigations, or you could admit
Let's
all of
advance.
the available evidence doesn't prove it. So
Well, let's advance from the election.
We
issue to
can-
fix it.
okay. So yeah, so don't just keep moving the goalposts. You have to admit that of the investigations that have been done and all the evidence that we've
That's
gathered.
the last thing I want to
can't
add on
prove
this
it, and
too.
you
Like to me, it's like, what about the standard? Did you call for investigations into 2016? What about 2024? Should Democrats, the next time they're in power, like forensically audit, the 2024 election? Would you be satisfied with
They
That
that?
do. was the landslide
They do
victory.
ask for these things.
That was a
Right,
landslide
wait,
victory.
Okay, but we're off of
I'm
that.
sorry,
We're
no,
off of
no, no.
that. So then we're off of that.
So-
but do you agree?
Well, I've got a topic for you guys
Trump's-
based on what you have asked. So
Sure.
I want to ask a
Okay.
question. So one of the things that kicked this off was you guys asked about Trump's threats to the media.
Yeah.
Recently, Mark Zuckerberg went on the Joe Rogan podcast and said that he was getting phone calls from the Biden administration screaming and cursing at him, and that they were effectively pressured into censoring information. One of these stories in particular, Mark Zuckerberg said that the feds went to him and said, there will be information on Hunter Biden. This will be Russian disinformation. Knowing that they were pressuring and screaming at them, Facebook ultimately removed the story, which
Hold on. How did the Biden administration do that during the Trump administration? You see, that's all it is. When it's something that they don't like, Biden did it. But that didn't happen. The Hunter Biden laptop story happened when Biden was running for president. Biden was not the president at the time. Trump was the president. So why is his FBI saying that shit? That was Trump's FBI. So even then, is Trump's FBI fascist? What's going on? You know? Because they would call that fascism. He's calling that fascism right now. But it wasn't Biden who pushed the story down. It was Trump's FBI. And also, what was the story? Do you have video evidence of Hunter Biden smoking crack and getting a blowjob and having a nice dick? Like, bro, it is bad to have a nice dick. You know, it sucks. You gotta be swinging that shit all the time. Like, I mean, you sit like. Here's the thing. Like, you watch porn and porn looks good. Why does it look good? It's because there's hot girls. But what you take for granted is they're getting fucked by hot dicks, okay? There's some ugly fucking dicks out there, bro. There's some dicks that you are like, I don't want to watch this fucking porno, bro. Like imagine if you just watch some weird, greasy, fucking pimpled face slob, hooking up with Riley Reed, or insert your favorite Mia Malkova, insert your favorite porn star. Like, you'd be like, hell no, get get this dude out of here. No, they pick hot dudes with nice dicks, okay? And when you're a hot guy with a nice dick, you want to see that shit fuck too, bro. And so all I'm saying, dude, and Trump gets it, man. Arnold Palmer had some big balls, bro. He had to let those things hang, all right? All right? It's just how it be. It's just how it be. And that's the thing, man. That's the shame of it all. It's like, yo, the Don gets it, bro. But and these guys get it too. Oh, maybe they don't get it. They probably don't. They honestly they look like ugly dick motherfuckers, but it happens. But yeah. I mean, what can you say? What can I say? Hunter Biden's crime was, smoking crack, fucking bitches, having a big dick. That was the story. Is that, hey, this happened. He did this. And I mean, like, he didn't even did he even do that in America, bro? And it was like a psyop too. He was fucking some Russian prostitutes, bro. It was a Russian hack, bro. They honeypotted him. They were like, yo, we got this crack cocaine, we got this Russian prostitute. Like, come on, come on. And he was sitting there like, yo, that's what happened, bro. That's what happened.
According to a few pollsters, they believe did swing the election by a few, or swing public opinion on Trump by a few points. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on that story.
I was just to say, if there's like any evidence that the Biden administration threatened Facebook to like censor disinformation, that's fucked up, and I would condemn that wholeheartedly, 100%. But so number one, I think Zuckerberg was asked about this by, was it Rogan? It was like, do you have any like, evidence of that or any recordings? He was like, no, unfortunately. And to me, the other thing I really want to emphasize here, every administration, including Trump's, engaged with social media to the intelligence agencies to like say, hey, this might be a potential terroristic threat, this might be a violation of national security, this might violate your own TOS, number one. And number two, I recall during the Twitter Files congressional hearing, we found out that even on petty shit, that the Trump administration reached out to Twitter to ask them to remove a tweet by Chrissy Teigen, John Legend's wife, because she called him a pussy ass bitch. Like, there's never like a perfectly demarcated line, but I expect that there's going to be engagement between social media and the intelligence agencies of every administration. But when you're asking people to take down tweets because you referred to the president as a pussy ass bitch, that's weak.
So let me respond to this,
dude. Let him respond to this. Let him hit us with his satire. Honestly, it's been an hour. I'll play this for you guys. I gotta go take care of some shit. I'll be back in a minute. When I'm back, we're gonna be Elden Ringing it up, because this is about all I can. I mean, they've said the same thing that they always say, which is, listen, listen. We don't like what happened. We don't like the outcome of that election, okay? We don't like it. Because we don't like it, we think it was probably fake. So we're gonna say, hey, screw you, F you. We want to do our own thing. We don't like it. We want to change the rules. We want to do whatever we want. People who like Donald Trump, we like him. And fascism is people doing things we don't like because, they're the other side. Your guy on the other side, he's doing things we don't like, so we're going to call them a fascist. We see your fascism and raise you our fascism. Okay? And that's how we feel. All right. So I'll play this out. I'll be back. Then we'll Elden Ring up.
But if it is, we'd be instant.
dude. I don't just calm down. You'll get a chance. So anyway, to respond to this, I think you make some valid points, but there's some there that aren't really valid. So yeah, sure. So let's say someone in the Trump administration or even Trump himself is like, hey, can you take this tweet down? I don't like it. It hurts my feelings, right? Fine. You can condemn it. You can say, it's an abuse of power or something like this. Seems like a kind of vague abuse of power. But there's a distinction when Facebook is being contacted by the Biden administration to tell them to censor all anti-COVID vaccination information, period. To take those things down, to throw people off who are disseminating this information, this and that. He says, this is now narrative building. This is, I want you, this ginormous media outlet, to build the narrative that my administration wants. And I'm going to use the coercive power of my office to do it. There's a distinction, I think, between that and I don't like this tweet, take it down.
So, again, if that's exactly what happened, I'd probably be inclined to agree. But there's no evidence of that. The number one, it was
Except
just
Zuckerberg saying
well,
it.
wait a minute. What I mean is, so again, it depends very much on the nature of the engagement between the government and Facebook. Again, if they threaten Facebook, if you don't take this down, there will be consequences or something like that. Besides just requests or even strong requests, there's also a public health emergency at issue here. So even if you disagree with what the federal government under Donald Trump, by the way, because a lot of this happened in 2020, and under the Biden administration, if you disagree with why they were pressuring it, to me, because that line is not perfectly demarcated, it's more understandable why the federal government would be urging social media companies to crack down on disinformation they believe will kill people. Well, just let me finish.
Yeah.
As opposed to the president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, pressuring a social media company because a celebrity insulted him.
Yeah,
that
or
is indefensibly
because they-
stupid.
Okay,
And
first
I'm
of
voting
all,
no.
there's far less.
Let me
We
come
finish
on,
our
let me jump in
exchange,
here.
dude. You'll get
How
a
long is
chance.
your exchange gonna
You'll
be?
get a
Sheesh.
chance, dude.
Sheesh.
You'll get a chance.
Let me quickly.
We're
go-
almost
go
done with
through
our
it.
exchange. Calm
How
down.
long is it gonna be?
So anyway, look, this will be the last thing, okay,
Okay.
Luke? And then we'll take it over to you.
Great.
Anyway, this is called rational discussion. I know it's hard for you, but anyway, I think it's fine. I think it's fine to make the criticism. I don't want the president to call and ask to take down a tweet. Fine. Again, though, when you're talking about narrative building from the Justice Department contacting Facebook itself, trying to construct a narrative, how much more fascistic can you get, authoritarianism can you get, then there's a counter narrative out here about COVID. There's a counter narrative here about some of the therapeutics. And by the way, Zuckerberg has since said some of the things that they were saying on the counter side were true. And they were asking us to take these things down. And we complied. And it's like, that's pretty fascistic. That's pretty authoritarian.
Let me
authoritarian.
Let me throw in one thing before we jump to Luke. I actually personally don't care for either story, COVID vaccine stuff. It's big, I get it, and targeting someone because they're personally mean to you is actually kind of worrying. The more concerning thing to me that often is missed was the censorship of Eric Charamella, which just by saying that name, YouTube might delete the stream. When
Don't say it then. Shit, this is why I came all this way. Let's do it.
I think the
Just
point,
say Eric C. Yeah.
We'll send you the broadcast.
Oh.
point needs to be made. When an employee of the CIA, I believe he was an employee, but when someone working with the CIA of Donald Trump and the Real Clear Investigations released the report that the individual had been identified by as Eric Charamella, every major social media platform, I think Twitter did not do this at the time, would censor any information with that name without warning, without a strike, just simply remove it. So I think when we look at the censorship of big tech, we can talk about public information like COVID vaccines. It is particularly worrying to me that Facebook, in all of this, especially with this story, they had a portal made for the feds to report quote-unquote misinformation. We're actively censoring stories of deep political merit, and they still have never accounted for it nor answered for it.
Yeah, so let me.
And Zuckerberg says he was coerced.
Let me jump in.
He said he
Come
felt
on, Andrew.
coerced.
So, as Josiah and I mentioned, we're not really interested in being blindly partisan, as some folks are. And so, if you have an example of the Biden administration crossing a line, we'll just denounce it. Strange that you wouldn't do the same with Trump, which is a part of what I'm trying to flesh out here. But whenever the case was brought to the Supreme Court relating to some of this with Facebook, you might remember, and they ended up ruling against the plaintiffs who were saying they were unfairly censored because of the government being involved. And one of the things they found out was that the social media platforms, long before government was asking anything on COVID misinfo, already was implementing a terms of service stuff on that. And you can have an issue with that. And in this new world where we have these platforms, all this power, we're going to be grappling over what the right terms of service, probably not no terms of service, but certain rules. But we can all disagree on how that's structured. But whether or not it's like a violation of the First Amendment relating to the government getting involved, got slapped down by the Supreme Court because there's just not the evidence that the platforms felt coerced. Because you will look at the percentages, even in portals like this one, where they would say, hey, we think this violates your term of service. And the platforms would go, no, it doesn't. And they would say no. And then the government would go, all right, that's all we can do.
This is
Well, I
new.
mean,
So
censorship in general is a problem.
Well, this
My
is
position
new
censorship is
stuff.
bad.
What we're talking about now This is new stuff which is coming out. Zuckerberg whistleblowing about a bunch of stuff we did not previously know.
Right.
You're referencing stuff that has come out, multiple years ago. What I'm saying to you specifically here is that there's no way for you to say, if you're going to say Trump is an authoritarian, he's evil, he's there to curtail the media, this type of thing. If the Biden administration's working in tandem, their Justice Department, trying to be coercive to Mark Zuckerberg to censor off information, specifically from conservatives, by the way. They were the ones who were mostly trying to give a counter narrative on the COVID-19 stuff, different political stuff, the J6 stuff. He said he was approached by the DOJ on all of these different things, and so was Facebook. It sounds like they're trying to create a narrative within one of the largest social media company platforms, which is out there, which benefits their administration. How much more authoritarian can you get than that?
And they banned Trump off everything right after.
Yeah,
Like they literally banned him. He got nuked
That was
off
while
the
Trump
internet.
was president.
That was
the social
while
media
Trump was
platform.
president,
Yeah.
number one. But just real quick on this.
Mhm.
So this, yes, he's referencing a Supreme Court case, which could you agree? You're right that the Zuckerberg revelations
Yeah.
Same
are
stuff.
relatively
new.
recent.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's my question:
Sure.
do you trust Mark Zuckerberg? Here's the reason why. I know you don't, Tim.
Fuck
I
no.
know.
Fuck
I know this.
Zuckerberg, man.
So I think it's important because a lot of people who even now are happy that Zuckerberg is adopting a more MAGA posture, for example, they don't trust him. They call him a fair weather friend because wherever the political winds blow. Is it possible, especially because as far as I know, he's not produced any corroborating evidence, that he's bullshitting just to try to ingratiate himself with you?
Yeah, so you have a couple of problems here, which is what would his motivation actually be to do this? So to be fair, do I trust Zuckerberg? No, of course not. I don't trust any of these tech giants. That includes Elon Musk. I don't trust him either. But
Fucking cheers, man.
But here's the thing,
Sure.
right? People do have motivations for the things they do. What would Zuckerberg's motivation be in expressing? And by the way, he began expressing this before he knew what the outcome of the new election was going to be even. Okay? He was expressing this before that.
Yeah, but
So-
he didn't drop any of these sort of
So the thing is like, what is his motivation here for explaining that the Department of Justice is reaching out and trying to censor various conservative content, except that he wants to be freed from the yoke of governments approaching Facebook and doing this because it creates all sorts of problems for him in his market, right? He actually has more of an incentive to tell the truth about this than he does to lie.
Well, I don't know if he's lying. I'm just saying, there seems to be, even on the MAGA side, an understanding that he has a credibility issue, number one. Number two, as far as I know, he's not corroborated any of these claims, which perhaps he will in the future. And number three, I think that he would have an incentive to say these things, certainly after the election, given that Trump won, but even before, when the outcome is in doubt, in order to, you actually said it yourself, to distance his social media company from any government intervention.
Yeah, but his incentive then would be to tell the truth about this. There could be, for instance, a guy like Zuckerberg has such a high profile. It would not surprise me if he was called in for congressional hearings, if they were running investigations into various forms of interference, things like this. He would need to actually have his story straight.
But he just
He
said
would need.
but that specific example, this big headline explosive event where they called me on the phone and they were cursing us out. Rogan said, "Haha, those recordings would be sick," and he's like, "No, we don't have any recordings." So so he's almost making claims specifically that as of this moment he can't possibly corroborate.
Yeah,
And that's
Yeah,
just-
but the
let me
thing
jump
is,
in. I
it's
feel
like I'm not disputing that he can't corroborate those claims at the
Sure.
moment, right? And like you said, evidence could go out in the future.
Right.
What I'm saying to you is it's a matter of incentives. What's his actual incentive to lie versus telling the truth about this? Seems like he has more incentive to tell the truth about it than to lie
Well,
about
he's
it.
doing this.
Let's have
yeah, he's doing,
self-preservation. I mean,
he's doing this in line with donating, Meta donating $1 million to
Trump's
Um,
inaugural fund. Yeah.
Trump's inaugural fund, and also speaking more positively about Trump, and also hiring Dana White, doing a lot of things that will make Trump like him more. And Trump goes on video, yeah, I think this is in response to my threats. And so my point about bringing up that case was, I think he's just blowing it out of proportion because every time,
No, yeah, surely you give a shit
let me
about
Oh no,
that.
I'm about to.
yeah.
I'm
every
gonna
time-
respond when he's
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
every time it's been there's been a chance to prove that there's this coercion going on. They can't, which is why I brought up the thing. He is bringing new versions of the allegations, but they're just overinflated versions of what they were saying before, which they can't prove because in reality, unless something crazy comes out, that's not really the phenomenon that's taking place. But I do want to just note that
Yeah.
both Jessiah and I, have demonstrated on our own shows constantly that we
Okay.
can criticize
Yeah,
the
let's
Biden
talk about
administration.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
curious, and this is why we came
Hang
here.
on,
is to see if you can
before you
defend
shift it,
Trump's things.
before you
So,
shift it, I
I
want
feel
to
like we
respond
just gave a very nuanced
briefly.
take on that.
Very
We gotta-
briefly.
I want to give you guys the final point on this topic before we move on. So if you
Yeah.
want to hit it, or
I want to hit it real quick, and then
Yeah, I'll go after you.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
listen.
Sure.
I watched your coverage of what you just talked about when you were talking about Trump threatening Zuckerberg, right? You were reading or you were watching CNN pundits who were discussing this, and they left a critical part out, and so did you. Interestingly enough, Luke,
Give it to
which
me.
is where Trump said, if he's guilty of crimes. If he's guilty of crimes, that was the actual tweet. If he's guilty of crimes, then we will take action. You left all of that out.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
familiar.
no, you
I
did.
did. You're right.
You
I did not
did.
mention
You
that
left it all
specific part
out.
of the quote. Can I know we're gonna move on, but just so you know, that's what Trump says every time. Obviously, if MSNBC,
Yeah, you left it all. You left it out on
Well, and he
purpose.
didn't just say
Zuckerberg-
take
oh,
action. He said
please
imprison him
stop.
for life. Man,
If
I mean,
he was guilty
Yes,
of
of course he's gonna
crimes.
say that.
shouldn't he be
All right,
guilty of crimes
Oh
that
no!
merit
Did the president say if you're guilty of crimes, I'm going to imprison you? Oh
What
my God!
crimes? What crimes? Which crimes merit
I
life
will note that.
imprisonment? Like
I will
that's
note
pretty
that next time, I
if-
promise, because it doesn't change the argument.
Yeah.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
I'll note that he said that's going to be his argument.
That's the crux, Luke. That's the
But
crux.
he's-
What's
yeah,
wrong with the
he's lying.
president saying if you're guilty of crimes, I'm going to put you in jail?
And this is-
Nothing.
that-
Would
Yes,
you
exactly.
grant that premise for Trump's convictions? Trump is guilty of crimes.
What crimes?
Falsifying business records, 34 counts. He was found guilty in a court of
Oh
law.
my God.
No, no,
I-
but wait,
there
wait,
we go.
just-
There we
but
go.
just- No, no, no.
There we
Listen
go.
to me.
Proved it.
Listen to me.
That's his
But
point.
here's my point.
Okay.
You can think that those charges are bullshit,
Mhm.
but this idea that it's no big deal if he's guilty
And
of
if the
crimes.
President Biden came out and said, if Trump's guilty of crimes, which he has, right, he should go to jail, which he has. Yeah, and you know what the liberals say? Hang on, the liberals go, yeah, absolutely.
I'll address this
It's
because
like, what are you talking about?
we can address this because there's a perspective issue. I think you make a good point that saying if someone's guilty of crimes, behind this view that there's a fear Trump will levy false crimes is a legitimate concern. The issue with the perspective is people do not believe Trump is legitimately guilty of crimes.
Sure.
And so the argument is that Trump is saying legitimately guilty of crimes, and the crimes that Trump has been charged with are illegitimate.
Yeah.
That's the perspective.
So we're saying the
Well, I
people he
think
chooses to
I don't
say
think
that
so.
about
I think the perspective
are people
here.
he has political differences.
I think the perspective here is they're saying, isn't it, if Trump says this, shouldn't you hold the same standard with Democrats? But we do. Biden has said this multiple times. Biden has said if Trump's guilty of crimes, he should go to prison.
Yeah.
If this person is guilty of crimes, they should go to prison.
I'll just
Like they say it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you
I'm
mean?
not aware. I'm not aware of Biden ever advocating on Trump's guilt or innocence publicly or saying that he should be in prison. My understanding is he's been about as fastidious as a politician can be.
He
Maybe
avoids
there's
that
some
topic
exception,
altogether,
but
yeah.
I'm not aware of it. And by the way, if
Wait, you think that Democrat,
Maybe he was
Democrat,
asked,
the
but-
entire
you said
Democrat
Biden.
Party,
No, wait, whoa.
Biden too. Yes,
Andrew,
Biden too.
We've been having a good thing here.
Yeah,
Come on.
Biden too. If it is the
So
case,
have we.
okay, that
You guys have actually had the better
that-
thing. I'll be honest
that
with you.
any of these people come out and say if Donald Trump is guilty of, like, wouldn't you guys say that if Donald Trump is guilty of crimes, he should go to
No,
prison?
wait, yes.
Like, what do you
Let's
mean?
let me just lay a little framework here. I agree. Of course, the statement is uncontroversial. If someone's guilty of crimes and they're, of a certain level, they should go to
Yeah.
prison, obviously.
Yeah.
But any person who unjustly imprisons people says that. And so we're saying of the people Trump chooses to say they should be put in prison or say they should be locked up or say that they should be targeted by the government, it's a very specific set of people he chooses, which is when someone wrongs him politically, all of a sudden now he randomly mentions if you're guilty of crimes, you should go to prison. When they're not accused of crimes, there's no reason to believe they've committed crimes. He'll just throw it out. Obviously, that would be his justification. Zuckerberg committed crimes. But he's just saying that to scare him because there's no reason. to
That's an
believe Zuckerberg has
interjection of
committed
an emotional state, not a provable one.
I don't
So,
see any
okay.
difference between the.
All you're doing is interjecting your.
Yeah.
This is how I perceive it. I perceive that he's politically targeting people because he said if you're guilty of crimes, you're going to
Let me
jail.
tell you this. If President, I'll just again throw you a bone here because
Yeah.
maybe there's something out there that I miss. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of Biden's, every statement he's made. If he ever adopted the same sort of posture that Trump did of like
Fox News.
Fox News, a great example. They had to pay $787 million in the biggest defamation settlement in American history because it was very possible that they would lose that case against Dominion. We've never seen anything like that in liberal media. Biden could have, by Trump's own logic, said, you know what? Fox just had to pay nearly $1 billion in a loyalty tithe to Donald Trump. We never sent MSNBC or CNN. So you know what? I'm ordering my DOJ to investigate Fox News.
Yeah.
And if Fox News executives are guilty of these things, we're going to throw them away for life or imprison them for life. Biden could have said that. He didn't. And if he did say it, that'd be super fucked up. Because I do think what you're
unless
describing...
they're secret subpoenas.
Well, what you're describing
which
as
wouldn't surprise me.
what you're describing as an anodyne statement, to me, it takes a sinister tone when it comes from a person in power.
Oh,
By
it's
the way,
a sinister tone. So
when-
it's an
depending-
emotional state.
well,
Obviously.
It's an emotional state.
well, you could reject. I'm just saying that I would hold Biden to the same standard if he
Let's-
did some of that shit.
Yeah.
Let's jump to this next subject. Donald Trump is expected to sign, I mean, some reports say 100 executive orders in a single day. It's going to be nuts. Many of them pertain to drilling and energy. Joe Biden just banned drilling. They say
Is
it's
it nearshore?
the near shore, that it's going to be difficult to overdo. I'm sorry, to overturn those
Yeah.
orders. We don't know for sure. When Joe Biden first got in, he did two major things. He shut down Keystone and he banned fracking on public land. Trump wants to reverse these things. So I'm curious your guys' thoughts.
Well, being soy liberals who believe in climate change, I mean, I would love to see a more, at least, diverse energy portfolio where we, try to embrace renewable energy as much as possible. I will just say that energy production under Biden achieved the highest levels in recorded history, even compared to Trump's.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what Trump is going to do. I don't
Including
know.
oil production, to be clear.
Yeah, including oil production. I mean, my God, at the end of his, I think, first year, he was signing lease and permits for drilling and fracking at a rate that was higher than under Trump. He was just trying to quell new permits and
Love
leases
it.
because there was a huge backlog.
Got it.
So yeah, energy production's great under Biden compared to even Trump. I don't know what it is about these particular EOs that's going to be so difficult for Trump to undo with a stroke of a pen, because my understanding is if the president signs it with an EO, it can be revoked pretty easily with an EO.
Biden's was invoking like a old law, which is why. However, that was.
Oh, so it
mechanically
wasn't
implemented.
done. Okay,
With the
gotcha.
other ones.
Yeah.
I think Biden should get a lot of credit with that. The crazy thing is, as Trump was going out, a part of the deal that he was making with like Saudi Arabia and Russia, we can pull up the specifics. It's been a long time since we've reviewed them, but was to reduce oil production because of the collapse
Before
in oil
COVID, I
prices.
think. Yeah.
So a lot of the recovery to get back to the energy production we were before was pandemic related, in part deals that Trump was making to try to help the oil industry. Some made sense because of the collapse of the oil industry. But I will say Biden's doing a good job of both trying to progress green energy initiatives while not rocking the system too much energy-wise, and that's why oil production is still so high. But we're getting green energy incentivized so that as we transition off, it's the least economically painful, but we can get there.
There's not going to be a transition off. So that's a long day away. And one of the reasons for that is because of logistics with semi trucks. You need the diesel engines, and that's that. So the thing is
You just wait till the first Prius.
when you're
semi-truck.
talking about
You just fucking wait.
when you're talking about fracking and things like this, yes, that is true. I agree with you that that Biden does have high energy output in the nation, but Trump got all that ball rolling when he moved into the fracking sphere. I mean, that was a big thing for him, and he brought it back in a big way. And yes, was he able to capitalize on that? Sure, he was able to capitalize on that, but you can't take that away from Trump. That he definitely pushed fracking in a very big way. And the thing is about that type of energy, right? It's not even that detrimental. It's not that detrimental. What I would like to see, and here maybe we
Creates
can
a lot of
find
jobs too.
Maybe we can find some common ground here. I'd
About
like
to make Andrew
see.
soy as fuck.
I'd
He's
like to
about join
see a
us.
switch to nuclear energy.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the cleanest. That's the cleanest.
But
form.
Chernobyl, Andrew.
Yeah, but that's all Soviet panic mongering done by
with you.
guys who are like the fascists, the communists, the fascists.
See?
It's done by you guys. But
Well, they
anyway,
agree with nuclear
Feeling
energy.
the
so
bromance.
we
Don't ruin
should-
it in the moment.
we should
We're
move
with you on
over
nuclear.
to complete nuclear energy,
Yeah.
and we should do that immediately. There's no good reason not to. The chances that we're going to have these meltdowns, things like that, they're very, very rare.
Cool. Sorry, I'm listening to the Philip DeFranco news right now. Bro, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna buy a computer soon, because I think it's just a good time. I think it's just a good time, because it's not gonna be a good time like this for a while. It's an investment. Sorry, boring stream, guys. Boring. Dude, you guys, you know what's cool? Is Trump is taking us back to our glory days. Back to how we were right before World War II. So we can get into World War II and be our glory days, you know? Where America's booming. What a guy. What a dude. Wow. Whew. I didn't die. I didn't die. They tried to kill me. There was like five of them. I don't know if I disconnected because of bad connection or what. Oh my god. I am scared as fuck. I'm surprised. I'm happy I made it out alive. Dude, you know what? The Zulhander is cool and all, but do I have that other one? Yeah. Ah, is there anything else that gives me strength? That's not as ugly. Let's see. I wanted a buff. I wanted a buff. Where's the buff? Scholar's armament. Dude, the fashion is ugly. Is this the fit? That ain't the fit. That ain't the fit either. That ain't the fit. This is almost the fit. This is almost the fit. Dude. Okay, maybe this is alright. Wow, McBalls. Wow. Did not even put up a fight. Man, some people. Some people are just unfortunate damage tests. You gotta bloody the world a little bit. You know. Dirty your hands a bit as an invader. It happens, you know, you're not always there. Oh, are they down there? Wow. Alright. Alright, we made it down. Are they down here? They must be. He could have been. Bro, they said that. I forgot, they say Elon Musk used ketamine. Bro, he doesn't even get that much sleep either, he says. Like 4 hours of sleep? Bro. Sometimes 5. Or he's probably some kind of druggie. Some kind of junkie. Oh. Oh my god. Damn. I had no clue where the fuck I was. It was just explosions. I should have seen an exit or something. Should have looked for an exit. All right, I need yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think this is okay. Damn. Did I even have that? Did I even use my physic? Damn. I don't think I'm feeling this fashion, guys. I guess this is a mage fit, but I feel like it's not a mage fit though, you know? Is this okay? Wait, I seen something. No, this. Dude, I didn't know you could. So if you hold the heavy, wait. If you hold the heavy and you press B, you can back up. Dude, okay, that's cool. Alright, let's see how this goes. Wow. Lame. Lame loser. Okay. That happened. That happened. That happened. Okay. Damn, that guy died too. Sorry guys, I had to go get some ice cream. Dude, I was not expecting to eviscerate that dude. Like I was not expecting to do that. 1500. Wow. Damn. Damn, I hit him with both halves, bro. Magic sorted, bro. Bro. He was like, what is this? Mm. Levick. I mean, ice cream and it's good. Frozen custard from Culver's. Oh. Danced on 'em. Danced on 'em. Mm. I finished one of them, but dude, ice cream is so good. Is it even working? Dude, this just looks weird. It just looks weird, man. It just doesn't look right. Something about it, you know? Just don't look right. Dude. Oh, you know what? The freaking... Not this.
Well, you'll...
Dude, this is the one, bro. This is the helmet, bro. Okay. This is kind of cool too, I think. But I don't want to take on the extra damage. This is all right. This is a little better. Not the best, but better. This is probably this almost looks fine from behind. Oh, alright, I'm just gonna reload. I'm gonna reload up and get this armor that I want, that I think would look dope. Okay.
Wait, well, you're back.
Yes, I am back. Let's let's look at the fashion, guys. Why is one hand pink? Oh, it's burnt. See, this is why I didn't leave yet, because I knew I forgot something. Dude. I just remembered an armor that I really wanted. This one's cool too, but
Goodbye.
dude, this is crazy. is cool. It's still, I feel like it's still not fashion yet. Like it's almost fashion, but it's not fashion. Call him a goober. Oh, this might be the fashion. All right, let's see. Damn, it's 9. Got it, guys. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get him. We own him. What the? What the? I rolled. I thought, how did I do that? I thought there was a ledge there. I could have sworn there was a, or not a ledge, there's a railing. Damn, champ. Sorry. This guy disconnected again. Wait. Something broke. Right? Hey, stop. No. You can go to the kennel. Ooh, chopped him up. Sorry, dude. You're running away? Damn, you are running away. Wow. Why are you running, dude? Like, just leave. Just leave then if you're gonna run. Jesus. Yeah, you there waiting to die? Should have sent it up. I didn't realize he was a low level. And that's why. That's why. Damn. Giga smash. Not bad, man. Dude, I just ate so much ice cream, and I think I'm gonna go eat a brat. I'm I was just sitting there eating. I think this is good. This is a good fit. Damn, that really hurt. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just kill you. Damn it! What the fuck? Bullshit. Bullshit. Is that lag or something? How the hell did he catch up to me?
Take me not, Queen Marika, my grace.
Damn, oh my god. Jesus. It's with these people and these super freaking... 174. Yeah, got him. Ooh. Damn. Ooh, that's it for you, my guy. Ain't that not fair? Damn. Just chopped it in half. Bro. Like, not cool. Oh, whoa. Also, dude, not cool. Alright, guys, though. I think that's a good spot to end it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the first part. If you stayed for that, if you left at some point, you know, hey, thank you for watching it all. As always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good rest of your life. See ya. Stay